Good morning, class. How's everyone? It's fine. Wednesday, October 7th, but you'll be getting this video on Thursday, October 8th. I hope everyone is well. I hope these videos are reaching you, that everybody is engaged and reaching out if you have any questions. Great job last week. Doing work for the most part. Some of you are still struggling. Some of you are hitting it hard, so I really appreciate it. Today, what we're gonna do, we're gonna stick on the video, stick on the topic of main idea, and we're gonna go through one of the worksheets, and we're going to do some Kahoot questions. So it's kind of like a freebie for your work for the week. So if you are watching these videos, you're kind of getting some answers. So this is why I'm doing this, to encourage you to watch these videos. Alright, so here's your lesson, here's your video for today. So what we'll do is we will go to Call the Wild. Alright, so what you can do actually is, let's open this link in a new tab. So I have that up, and I have this up. Alright, so on your tape test, you're going to have a short passage similar to something along these lines, okay? So what we'll do is we'll go through this passage and read it, and we'll look at how to answer these questions. Okay, so let's go ahead. Alright, Call the Wild. Chapter 3, The Dominant Primordial Beast. It was inevitable that the clash for leadership should come. Buck wanted it. He wanted it because it was his nature, because he had been gripped tight by the nameless, incomprehensible pride of the trial and trace. That pride which holds dogs in the toil to the last gasp, which lures them to die joyfully in the harness, and breaks their hearts if they have cut out the harness. This was the pride of Dave as wheel dog, of Soul Leaks as he pulled with all his strength, the prides that laid hold of them at break of camp, transforming them from sour and sullen brutes into straining, eager, ambitious creatures, the pride that spurred them on all night and dropped them at pitch of camp all day and dropped them at pitch of camp at night, letting them fall back into gloomy unrest and uncontent. This was the pride that bore up Spitz and made him trash sled dogs who blundered and shrieked in the traces or hid away at harness up time in the morning. Likewise, it was the pride that made him fear Buck as a possible lead dog. And this was Buck's pride too. Okay. So, when we're reviewing the main idea, what are we going to have to look for? We're going to read it. From our lesson, we're going to read the title, The Dominant Primordial Beast. Alright, we're going to read the first line. It tells of Buck, a dog stolen from California who's taken to Alaska during the Klondike Gold Rush in the late 1890s. Buck becomes a sled dog, part of a team that transports supplies and people through the harsh winters. Alright, we'll read the first sentences. It was inevitable that the clash for leadership should come. We're going to read the last sentence. Likewise, it was the pride that made him fear Buck as a possible lead dog. And this was Buck's pride too. Alright, so we've got an idea. It's about the lead dog. It's about Buck, right? It says it right there. What about Buck? So let's look for some words in here. It was the pride of Dave as wheel dog, of Soul Leaks as he pulled with all his strength, the pride that laid hold of them at break of camp, transforming them from sour and sullen brutes into straining, eager, ambitious creatures. The pride that spurned them all day and night and dropped them at pitch of camp and pitch of camp at night, letting them fall into gloomy unrest and uncontent. Alright, it's about being the lead dog, the sled dog, right? So, if we had to write this in our own words, what would we say? Buck wanted it. He wanted it because it was his nature. He was gripped tight by the nameless, incomprehensible pride of the trail and the trace. Alright. what would be the main idea? All right, so we know it's about Buck. We know it's about the pride. So it's about being the lead dog. So how would you write it? If I was to write this as the main idea, in my own words, I would say this was a struggle for power to be the lead sled dog, as as it was a battle, one that Buck clearly wanted. Something along those lines. So, put it in your own words. Alright, Buck wanted to be the lead sled dog because his pride and his ambition forced him to do that, or wanted him to do that. Alright? He wanted to be the lead dog. He wanted to take away the lead dog from Dave, or be the sled dog, the wheel dog. Alright? He wanted to take it away from Dave. He wanted to take it away from Spitz. Okay? There was a struggle to become the sled dog, one that Buck wanted. Okay? That's the main idea about this little paragraph. So if we had to write two ideas for this main idea, so Buck wanted to be the lead sled dog. How about this? Pride that made him fear Buck as a possible lead dog. Alright? The pride of Dave as he pulled all his strength. The pride that laid him. So, you could even say something like, Buck wanted it. He wanted it because of his nature. He'd been gripped tight by the nameless, incomprehensible pride of the trail and the trace. So what's that key word that keeps coming up is pride, right? Pride forced each of these dogs to want to be the lead dog. So we could say Buck wanted it because of his nature. Spitz wanted it because it made him trash the sled dogs who blundered and shrieked in the traces. So, a fight to be the sled dog. So, in your own words, think about how you would rewrite this main idea. Okay? Remember, use the steps. Give me a second here. Use the steps that we went over in our PowerPoint to review it, okay? So when we're finding the main idea, we all know what the main idea is. That's not the issue. The main idea we know is the most important thing. Here are your steps, right? Read the passage. Find the topic sentence. Look for information about the topic. Choose the most important details, or that's if you're writing the main idea. Identify it. Summarize the passage. Look at the first and last sentence. Look for repetition of words. Alright, so when we do that, what are our repetitions of words? The word I just mentioned, it comes up all the time. Pride. Pride. Pride, okay? The main idea is about pride, and the dog's pride to become the lead dog or the sled dog, alright? How do we do that? What is the topic? The dominant primordial beast. Being the lead sled dog. We summarize the paragraph and identify it. So we've looked it over. We've summarized what we're going to read. We've read the first and last sentence. Clash for leadership. Buck's pride. Okay? Pride and leadership. And then again, repetition of words. Pride, 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 pride. That gets us to our main idea. And there it is. So, I hope that makes sense. These videos, I hope, are helpful as we go through them, alright? Then, supporting details. Alright, supporting details is any information about the main idea. So, anything that supports the pride. So, it talks about he wanted to transform them from sour and sullen brutes into straining, eager, ambitious creatures. The pride that spurned them all day and all night, and provided them at the pitch of camp at night, letting them fall into gloomy unrest and content. It was the pride that wanted him to be the strongest lead dog. Okay, so we're going to look for those words that support the pride of the lead dog. Alright. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Alright, and then for our second little bit for the next few minutes, because we're not a whole lot of time left, we will go ahead and let's look at these Kahoot game. Alright. Ready, set, go. It's all on the stream. Alright, we've got 6 people who've played it so far. My initials. And then we'll do a couple questions. So if you're watching the videos, you'll have the answers to the first couple of questions. What is the main idea? Essential message. What's the text mainly about? The details. Author's feeling towards the subject. The details that give a string. So is it the essential message? What's mainly about? So what is it mainly about, right? Okay. The most important thing, what the passage is about. You have to understand the main idea. Think about main, most important, idea. Thing in your brain, what it's about. What is the main idea? Sam wanted to be a doctor. He liked watching shows about hospital. He liked to talk with his doctor when he went in for checkup. It was Sam's goal to learn everything he could about being a doctor. Is it doctors, becoming a doctor, watching doctor shows, or Sam wanting to become a doctor? Alright, so it's more than just doctors, too broad. It says nothing about doctor shows. So is it becoming a doctor or Sam becoming a doctor? It says it right there. It's loud. Sam wanted to become a doctor. It's not just about becoming a doctor, it's about Sam wanting to become a doctor. Alright. Soldiers wear uniforms. These outfits look a lot alike. Still, they are a little different. Each has a soldier's name on it. It also has a small piece of jewelry. These pins tell about the soldiers. Is it about soldiers, their pins, their jewelry, or their uniforms? Alright. Read the first sentence. Soldiers wear uniforms. They look alike. Referencing soldiers. They're a lot different. Referencing uniforms. Each has his name on it. References to uniform. Small pieces of jewelry. It has pins. Alright? Pins and jewelry are details about the uniforms. And it's not just about soldiers. It's about soldiers' uniforms. Okay? So see how we use the details in the question to get to the main idea. Alright, we got time for uno más. Ducks are birds that can swim. If you look closely at a duck's foot, you will see it has webbed toes. This means that there is skin connecting each toe, and this skin helps the duck paddle when it swims. Alright. So is it about duck's feet? Is it about swimming birds? Is it about all birds? Or is it tell about its toes? If you look closely at a duck's foot, you will see its webbed toes. This means there is skin connected to each toe, and that the skin helps the duck paddle when it swims. Ducks are birds that can swim. So is it about their feet? Is it about toes? Is it about birds? Or is it tell about swimming birds? Interesting. So I don't think it's about toes, because that's just a detail. And it's definitely not about all birds. So what do we think? It's just about their feet? It does say if you look at a foot, you will see its toes. This means the skin is connecting a toe. And the skin helps the duck paddle when it swims. So it does say a lot about their feet. Or is it to tell about swimming birds? Ducks that are birds that can swim. Remember, always go back to your first sentence. No, it's about their feet. Oh, you got me. Alright, it's about their feet. Why is it about their feet? Because if you look at a duck's foot, you'll see its webbed toes. This means that there's skin connecting each toe, and the skin helps the duck paddle when it swims. If we just tell it, it's not just about swimming birds. So this one tricked you. Tricked me too. I think it's... okay. So, that's fine. It's about their feet. Anyway, okay. I hope this video helped. Please remember, your lessons are all here on your stream. And on the left-hand side, please contact me if you need any help or any questions. I'm on Google Meet every morning. Have a great rest of your week. Talk to you guys soon.